Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. Every fortnight, I also share guest conversations with experts passionate about the future of our home, health and the planet, which will provide you with actionable takeaways to create a more organised and happy life. Have you ever had that craving to eat brownies for breakfast? What if there was a nutritious and healthy option? Today on the podcast, I'm talking with Lynne Bowman. She's an author of Brownies for Breakfast. Sounds delicious. A cookbook for diabetics or anyone who wants to prevent or reverse chronic disease and eat healthily. Lynne shares simple ideas for eating more whole foods to reduce food waste and save you money. She talks about why pumpkin is so versatile and shares her healthy brownie recipe. She also shares tips for grocery shopping to eat more whole foods. We had some technical issues during our recording, so it's not a video recording. It's been edited so you can still hear all Lynne's ideas and tips on whole food eating that's easy and simple to implement. Let's jump into this Simply Happy guest conversation. Brownies for Breakfast, which I love that title, a cookbook for diabetics or anyone, though, who wants to prevent, reverse chronic disease and eat healthy. And she's going to be sharing how to simplify and organize how you can plan and prepare whole foods and plant-based meals. Welcome, Lynne.
I'm so happy to be with you. We've been laughing about this. It's a miracle that we're able to connect through all the thousands of miles and the time zones. And I love talking to tomorrow, It's so great to know what's going to go on tomorrow.
And I'm sure, though, it's a lot warmer where you are than it is here. It's actually freezing cold at the moment.
Is it? Yes. It's the middle of California today, and I'm on the coast of California. It's going to be in triple digits. My husband just came in and said, oh, my gosh, it's going to be 118 degrees or 120 degrees Fahrenheit all through the center of California today.
Oh, wow. So, for us, it's like 2 degrees at the moment. So I'm not sure what that is.
So, thank goodness. We're on the coast. We're good. Right here, it's in the 70s, just very moderate. It's warm. But
oh, nice. I'd much rather that. Yeah. So then share with us things, if you were a Barbie doll and you came with accessories, what would the 2 accessories be?
A good knife.
Yes, that's a good one. And what would the second one be?
Oh, golly. A good sound system, I guess, I have a hard time functioning without music going as much as possible. So,
and is the music when you're cooking or everything, whatever you're doing?
Always. And, I'm a big believer, Narelle, in eating joyfully. Eating is not just food. Food is not just fuel. It's love and it's connection. And I am an impatient, sloppy cook. I don't love, being tied up in the kitchen. I want to be at the table talking, I want to be part of the action. I don't want to be off in the kitchen doing stuff. So all of my recipes and the whole way I think about food is very simple. And I don't count calories. I don't do little macro, I acknowledge all of that, but I'm 78 now, and I like to brag about that because, first of all, I made it. I got this old. Isn't that great? And I'm diabetic. I'm a type 2 diabetic, although my numbers are in the normal range now because of the way I eat and exercise. So that's what I'm about. That's what I want for everybody. I want your numbers to look great. I want your food to be delicious and fun. And I don't want you slaving in the kitchen. Who wants to do that? Right. And I enjoy doing it when I can be a little bit creative and a little bit, and let's add a little of this and let's throw into, and I'm a huge believer, and I know what you do when it comes to organization, which is brilliant, but I'm a huge believer in eating what you've got, open up the fridge and take out what you've got and make it into a good meal. It's not hard. And so if you're basing your meal planning on some simple principles about what you eat, that you eat these things and you don't store those things, and I'm always going to encourage people to quit sugar. Stop eating sugar. of any kind. And that's shocking for a lot of people. And then you have to start going, well, what is what do you mean by sugar? What kind of sugar? I mean, maple syrup and honey and cane sugar and the things that react in your body just like sugar, which would be things like white flour. So that croissant, that anything with white flour. Even then you start saying, okay, and white rice, that's problematical. White potatoes, white stuff. But if you just think in terms of, okay, no sugar. So anytime you're tempted to add sugar to a drink or put sugar on top of anything, but even more important, read the labels on everything that you're buying at the store, and try not to eat things with labels. I mean, if yes, even better. So the more you can buy at the farmer's market, the more you can raise yourself, the more that isn't wrapped in plastic. And when you think about it, if you eat that way, just as a general rule, a habit, it's so much better for the earth. It's better for your trash collection. It's better for so many. It's cheaper. It's less expensive if you eat that way. And people are fond of saying, well, isn't eating organic food and fresh food, isn't that a lot more expensive? No, it's not. I can guarantee, and I don't know exactly what your prices are like in Melbourne right now, but celery and carrots and lettuce, those are never the expensive things in the store, you know, green stuff. And one small example that I like to talk about is parsley, one of my favorite foods. Parsley, it's beautiful. It smells wonderful. We used to get it wrapped in our meat packages. I don't know if you remember this, but okay. And you would take that parsley out and throw it away, and then you'd eat the meat. Well, guess what? You'd be better off throwing the meat away in many cases and just eating the parsley. And I'm exaggerating a little bit, but parsley is fabulous food. Italian parsley, gorgeous leaves, so wonderful. So I always keep a little bouquet of it on the sink, my countertop, in a nice little vase, and some uh, kitchen shears, and then I just snip it off and put it on everything. Because one of the principles, I mean, I believe deeply in eating a plant based, doesn't have to be exclusively plants, but a plant based diet, whole food, real food. There you go. That's the whole thing. That's the simple explanation of how to do this. And I know anyone listening to this is going, well, yeah, but how? I mean, that sounds really easy, but how? Well, you can begin with Norel in your cabinets, in your storage, whatever, however you're storing your food. Anything that's been in there a long time needs to go. And if it's in a can, okay, it's okay. If it's in glass, it's okay. Try not to buy stuff packaged in plastic if you possibly can, and read those labels. And that sauce that you thought was so great, it's probably half sugar, and you may want to ditch some of that stuff. Just, I know, pass it on to someone else who doesn't know as well as you do. But that's mean, or just dump it out. And I hate wasting food. Also, I always want to eat everything, eat down to the plastic. I always say, and on those shelves in my fridge, I want to eat everything in my cupboard, everything in the fridge, and I want you to do the same. Because, first of all, why not? You bought it. If it, eat it, enjoy it. And the way to do that is to be just a little bit creative about how you put things together. But in my book, and Brownies for Breakfast is a sugar-free brownie recipe. My book is savory things as well. It's stories, and it's how to eat, and then it's recipes. But the brownies, for example, are made out of pumpkin, which I know you Aussies love as much as we do. And it's a healthy, fabulous thing to eat, full of vitamins, full of fiber. They're great. Pumpkins are great. So I always have a few cans of pumpkin in my larder because I do all kinds of different things with them instead of using flour.
I asked Lynne to share her brownie recipe and why it's a great recipe.
The brownies are made from pumpkin and nut butter. Another thing I always have in the larder, and I like to buy almond butter, salted or not. I usually buy no salt. And I usually buy creamy. You can buy chunky too. Cashew butter, excellent. Peanut butter, if that's what you like. But the brownies are made with your favorite nut butter, pumpkin, cocoa, just plain old ground chocolate with no sugar, no nothing, just dark chocolate, cocoa, some baking soda, eggs, one of my favorite things. I want to encourage you, if you do eat eggs, and obviously I do, you can eat egg substitutes if you prefer a vegan way of doing it. But if you buy eggs, buy happy chicken eggs, from well-adjusted, college-educated chickens. And in my case, I know the chickens' names because they're my neighbors. They just live right down the street. I love to talk to them and hug them. And the eggs are so beautiful when you get them that way. The shells have color and the yolks are that deep, gorgeous marigold color, and they are so full of nutrition. So these brownies are high protein, cheap, no sugar. You can make them vegan, vegetarian. They're brilliant, and they're a meal. And it's important because it's simple, Narelle, and it's one of those foolproof things. Everybody loves it. Your grandpa, your kids, everybody can make it. It can be frozen. It can be sent off to school with a kid. You can sneak it in the middle of the night if you have to. And it's good food. It's a meal. There's nothing wrong with it. And I also guarantee that on your second brownie, I mean, as naughty as you might be feeling about this whole thing, when you finish that second brownie, you'll be going, okay, I've eaten. That's enough, because it's real food. It's made from whole food, no sugar, nothing bad. All it is, I'm going to list it out for you. I'm not going to give you amounts because I can't ever remember exactly, but it's in the book, of course. And it is pumpkin. I think I use a whole can of pumpkin. And we Americans and you, Aussie, we love our pumpkin for a good reason. It's gorgeous. It's healthy. It's the most wonderful. I actually have a chapter in the book called "I Love You Pumpkins" because there's so many things that I love to do with it, because it takes the place of flour in a lot of recipes. So it's pumpkin and nut butter, and the combination of the two, just they taste so naughty, like fat and grease and flour, but they're not. I mean, they're fat technically, the nut butter, but it's protein, it's vitamins, it's minerals, it's fiber, it's all the good things. So it's pumpkin, nut butter, cocoa, plain dark ground cocoa, nothing in it, no sugar, not a whole lot of it. I think there's a third of a cup in there, but they're very dark and dense. And then I think some baking soda, eggs, wonderful food, full of protein, so healthy if the chickens are healthy. If you're eating eggs, please eat eggs from chickens you know or like, or who has the chickens, and they're happy, well-adjusted, gorgeous little chickens. So good eggs, or if you're vegan, egg substitute. Nothing wrong with that. It works great in the recipe. So pumpkin, cocoa, nut butter, baking soda, and here's the big one, the big secret, allulose. And that is the sweetener that I recommend to everybody now. It has a terrible name, sounds really scary. It's not. It's a rare sugar that is a kind of a stupid name for something that is made from a food product. I think it's made from corn, basically, squished, but no calories. It's crystalline. You can get it in a powdery shape. You can get it in table sugar form. You can get it in brown sugar form. Sometimes they combine it with monk fruit. That's fine. Monk fruit is a great sweetener, no problem. But there are other sweeteners, I explain a lot of this in the book, that can be problematic for a lot of people. Maybe you want to stay away from them. But if you're going to eat a super healthy diet, maybe lose some weight, if you're diabetic, you want to get your numbers right, you must not eat sugar anymore. And the way to be happy not eating sugar is to have a good sugar substitute. So allulose, allulose, is what I highly recommend. Cooks beautifully.
I asked Lynne to share the problems with our food today and why we're having so many chronic diseases.
Because so much of our food now has been engineered, Narelle, you know this, so that you have to keep eating it. You know, the little chips and flakes and things, they're all made to be addictive, and they're all full of sugar, almost all of them.
I asked Lynne for her shopping tips to eat more whole foods.
Well, stop buying in the center of the grocery store and try not to buy anything with a label on it.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Lynne as much as I did. If you'd like to find out more about Lynne, get free recipes, or purchase her book, Brownies for Breakfast, head to lynnebowman.com or go to the show notes for the link. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Simply Happy conversation. If you find yourself wasting precious time searching for misplaced items and wishing for a more organized life, then you need my 5-minute declutter ebook, the ultimate guide to quick and easy organizing solutions for a clutter-free and happy home. Forget about spending months KonMariing your house. These fun solutions are designed to give you immediate results in under 5 minutes. Head over to Simply Happy in the resource section and download your free copy and start seeing results in minutes. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.